For the first time in a long time, I'm out in a tipper doing a delivery. At the refurbishment project, we're concentrating on preparing for electrics and home automation. At the £15 million house, we have a mould to fill and drainage to work on. And now it's time that I back my talk. I called it on with my team, and now I need to up the size of our fleet. I'm Daniel, and it's Ashville Weekly, episode 140. It's Monday. I'm not in the yard. Today I was in the studio again, doing some promo work for the TV show you saw me filming a few months ago. The drop date is September. I'll be able to tell you more soon, but today I was doing the promo, so once again, it feels real. This morning, before I headed out, because it was a late start, in that industry it's a much later start, a much later finish, I was able to put together a budget cost for the project I looked at last Friday, which is the refurbishment project in central London. Now, if they accept the project, I'm going to bring them round the corner to the £2 million penthouse. Click here to watch that video, which is about 3 streets away, and a perfect example because it's the exact same square footage all round. Talking about current projects, the boys were doing the final steps in making sure that at the £15 million house, we are ready for the concrete pour in the morning. And at the same time, we're gonna be putting in all the drainage around the house. Yesterday, I spent some time racking my brains and thinking about the best way we are going to build the loft at the refurbishment project. I'm not trying to dampen the sound of footsteps. I am trying to dampen the sound altogether because the loft is going to be extremely noisy, and I don't want you to be able to hear it in the rest of the house, and I don't want you to be able to hear it outside the house. Steel transfers sound, so if you've got any bass, boom, 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 boom. All the steels in that area, you have to encase them in 2 15mm soundboards. And lastly, there are no trains this week, and hopefully we have a 13-ton machine going out for Ashville plant hire on Thursday through one of Terry's customers. And I noticed a couple of people have now been saying to me,
what you're doing putting them machines on that flatbed, just go and buy an Arctic and a low loader.
At the moment, I'm not just gonna go and buy any flatbed, but what we will look at is getting ourselves a tractor unit. I'm probably gonna get one for starters. And then because of the plans we've got coming with the batch plant and the other bits we want to do, I'm probably going to buy a powder tank to collect our own cement. I'm definitely going to have a flatbed, and I'm going to need a trailer, but I'm not going to get a tipping trailer this time. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get one with a walk-in floor. Yes, I'm going to pay £30,000 more for a walk-in floor trailer than a tipping trailer, so everybody could tell me they want the material £1 a ton cheaper. I'm furious because that's good maths. And that's it for Monday. Was Tuesday morning at the £15 million house. The second pour of the floating seating area went as planned, and simultaneously while that was happening, we were working on the drainage system which goes around the outside of the house. There's a very important meeting today at the refurbishment project. Ventaxia popped down, and we were talking about the ventilation system that's going to go in the rest of the house. Now, I don't mean the ventilation in the basement, which is completely separate because there's no windows or any way of getting fresh air into the games room in the cinema. I do not mean the system I showed you last week with the massive pipes. I mean the passive air system, which is going to be in the rest of the house, which is just going to bring fresh air into the room and change over the air. We were wondering, how are we going to run these pipes? What are we going to do? We need to start the first fix immediately. And one of the representatives from Ventaxia popped down and they gave us a lot of advice, which was invaluable. I couldn't be at any of the meetings, watch the concrete pour or watch the drainage happening, because once again, I was doing promo for the TV show and I had my first experience doing green screen. I felt like I was filming the Avengers. What you can see me doing, they're gonna put backdrops behind me of all the places in the world I went to all those months back. Had a lot of fun doing it, and they keep asking me,
Are you tired? Are you tired?
and I'm like, no, this is light work. I'm enjoying this. Did you see me on a commercial motto? Did you like the channel and the video? Let me know, subscribe and leave your comments below. So that is my second and last day for now doing promo. I've got another one in about 2 weeks. I got a Zoom with the PR team on Friday. So everything is moving along nicely. At lunchtime, I took a call with a client and they said, look, you've done my main house. I understand that, but I have a rental property. Can't you do it cheaper and just do it quicker? And I spent my entire lunch break explaining to them that it's different horses for different courses. And the reason I can't do that is because I spent so long telling my staff, take your time and get it right. Because we are not unit shifters, we are bespoke builders. And if you rush, we're gonna end up coming back. Now, fair is fair. There have been times when I've told the boys to hurry up and then they've come back and told me the same thing what I told them before. So the best thing to do in a case like this is to say, no, that is not our skill set. We are more suited to doing a different type of work. I never like turning down work, but it's best to turn it down at the start, because if it's a nightmare in the beginning, it will be a nightmare in the middle and a nightmare at the end. So best to manage the client's expectations and be clear on what your capabilities are and what you're willing to do, so you don't end up in hot water later. That's it for Tuesday. It's Wednesday and I'm in the yard, but I've got to go out and do a load of material because we're short staffed today. So I'm going to get to it and show the boys that you can in fact do 7 load a day into this job. It's been a long time since I've been out and done a delivery, and I forgot how lovely these lorries are to drive. Today, at a refurbishment project, as with all week, the work continues, and we should be very close to finishing the roof there. We've had the plans come through now for the cable trays to start running the electrical first fix. With these trays in place, we can begin to run the main cables. Daniel is rolling on the road again, getting overtaken again, going downhill, and I'm getting overtaken by everyone. What's actually really going on here? What's going on, Scania? Some of the lorries are 56, some are 57, some are 58. And I said, but hold on a minute, we're not part of the European Union anymore. Brexit. So why are we following those regulations? Is the law in this country not 60 miles an hour? Why can't we run at 60 miles an hour? And in Scania, they told me it was illegal. I know a lot of you out there are owner-operators, or you know what's going on with legislation. So you tell me, should we be allowed to run all our trucks at 60 miles an hour, or do we need to stick to 58? Guys, what you can see over there is the tunnel segments. So the larger ones with 9 pieces is one complete ring of a tunnel segment. So when they're excavating here, they then use these segments and they fit them in a ring, and it provides support, a lot like the structure of an egg. So it basically gives it self-support. All of those you can see there are all reinforced with steel, and they've got like a rubber gasket going all the way around so you can fit all the bits together. Successful delivery. Now we're heading back to the yard. How's it going with the drains?
They done it, all the drains, and they're coming back Monday, yeah?
Got it.
The small digger is here, and the dumper. The man you gonna use our dumper, or he have to get he old one, because I will need it.
If you need the dumper, you got to take it.
Oh, okay. Daniel,
Yo,
how are you doing?
on Monday or Tuesday, I need to move the digger and dumper to the other project. I know you got your own digger, but the dumper won't be there.
Can the man not move the sand on the back for me now?
If you want the sand moved on the back, I'll move it. Yeah, I'll move it on the back, no problem. Yeah, there's an Ashville lorry. Do me a favour, we're gonna take the dumper, but move that sand into the back, please.
Man is down here.
Yeah, if you move the sand, then they don't need the dumper.
Okay, then. I'm gonna do it today.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing?
How we doing?
I was just typing out an email to you. As I've got you on the phone, even better.
We went as keen as we could on the long-term day rate.
In regards to working hours,
We can do 6 till 4, we can do 8 till 6. It depends what do you want to, like, how does your site work?
thanks Dan, cheers.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Talking to a gentleman who's running, oh, there's an Ashville lorry. Talking to a gentleman who's running an infrastructure project, and they want tippers on day hire. Now, what I said to them was, we are interested in long-term work. And they said,
Okay, well, your rates need to be keener.
I said, all right, well, I'll accept that. But I'm not interested in work where someone turns around at 4 o'clock the day before and they says,
Oh, we got no work for you tomorrow. Go and find some work.
and then the next day at 5 o'clock they go,
Oh, we got work for you in the morning.
For me, uncertainty means I'm going to have to charge more money. But if I have the certainty that the truck is going to be there every day for a period of time, we know exactly what we're going to be doing, then I'm willing to take a view on the rate. I have to send in my submission again because there's an overall score, and the long-term day rate will stay the same, but the ad hoc, like we'll use you when we want you and dash you in the bin when we don't need you, I'll have to fill in those because I left them out to say basically I don't want to do it. But in leaving them out, you affect your overall score. So I'll go back and deal with that tender when I get back to the yard. Dan Ferrati and I stay behind after everyone else, and we're minding our own business. And next thing you know, I hear this. But there's a wasp in here, and not any wasp, like a deadly one. One of those ones that could sting you and just change your life. Now, I wasn't scared, but at this moment in time, Terry called me. So I had to leave and go and check something that was going on outside. And I said to Ferrati, just leave it a minute. But Ferrati wanted to be brave and tackle this wasp. With safety first, we decided to grab a high vis. Now we're chasing this wasp around, but this wasp is ducking and diving and moving and shaking. And we can't edit with a wasp going around buzzing, because you know these wasps, they're like very temperamental. Anytime they could sting one of us. And I've seen what happened to Will Smith in Hitch with that allergic reaction. And I wasn't gonna have that happening to me. At some points we thought we had won, and then aha! The wasp surfaced again. I came back and realized that Ferrati didn't have a clue what he was doing. So at this point I decided to jump in and put some bicep into this and start swinging around the high vis. Eventually I think the wasp just left through the window and we didn't actually get it at all. But that was the point when we could carry on with the watch through and we could continue. And you're quite lucky that this wasn't an entire episode of just chasing a wasp around, because Breaking Bad thought that they could do that to all of us as well. That's it for Wednesday. It's Thursday. I'm in the yard. It's a glorious day outside. I've got shorts and t-shirt on and it's absolutely freezing in here. I've got the aircon on full blast. Had a meeting with Terry and Sam earlier. And I always say to the lads, don't worry about certain things. I say to Sam, worry about selling. And I say to Terry, keep the lorries out there, recruit the drivers. I will make it happen. You just need to do what you need to do and I will provide you with the tools. Well, both the lads have come to me now and said, we need more lorries. And Terry has drivers starting. We won't have enough lorries for the amount of drivers we got. So it's time for me, I've been planning already, this is not spontaneous, to get a couple of new lorries. We were focusing on grabs for a while, and then you see we sold the Arctics, but I believe all our focus now will be on tippers and volumetrics. We're having great difficulty finding a volumetric pre 2019, anything up to 2018 on December 31st, which hasn't actually had the living daylights beat out of it with an auger that's got tooth decay and is falling apart. Boys are delivering, time for me to deliver. At the refurbishment project, we're playing around a little bit with the utility area. Generally for a utility, I just put cupboards on either side, have a washing machine, pretty simple, standard carcasses, but the utility there is going to be slightly different in that they want to use the area in a different way. They want to have a big freezer, a dog wash station, and then they want to have an area to iron, and they want to have the dryer and washing machine. So we need to have a little move around. Chris is going to start the plumbing in there very soon, so we need to make sure everything is in the ceiling, in the wall, and in the floor before we start closing anything up.
Hello, Daniel.
Wilson.
So, is there any provision for an Aquavision TV in the master ensuite?
No, in the plans for the ensuite bathroom, a television has never been requested, but now you've said that, I feel like I should ask the question. We're finally putting together the final bits for the pool house, but as part of the pool house submission, the Control4 will need to be part of that.
I wanted to run a fibre optic, 4-core
fibre optic. Well, why are you killing me with this money, man? Fine, fibre optic.
It's not too expensive.
Not too expensive. The word not too expensive is open to interpretation, my young Wilson.
Okay, so that's fine. I can price lights and speakers and a telly, maybe.
What, in the pool house?
Yeah.
I'd say there'll be two. I'd say there'll be one in the gym and one in the pool area.
That is really it.
I
That's all
think
my questions for now.
I think you're forgetting something. Did you not want to ask me about subwoofers in the master bedroom?
Yeah, I did.
We built all the walls out of block work,
block,
not stud work, so I've got nothing in the walls to give you. And if I build out one of the walls, like where the windows are, they're going to have like a windowsill that ends up looking like a kitchen worktop. It'll be that deep.
Sure, yeah, I get that.
Is that it for your questions?
That's it for now.
So at the refurbishment project, Will is the one who planned the whole automation system, the home cinema, the lighting. Now we have a Zoom call tomorrow with Control4. Will is going to be on the call. Will visited the site yesterday, and aside from his main job, working in his family business, Will's going to be working with us on the Control4 as and when he can, installing and advising and drawing up plans. So it's good to have Wilson back in the mix. While I was on that call, it reminded me of a meeting I had earlier. We were putting together a valuation. You have every bit of work in a line and you put a percentage next to it. And I did this valuation. I thought, hold on, man, I thought we were going to get paid more money. Like, what's going on? I kept studying it. And David and Vesha pointed out something I missed. On the first floor, I saw a line for dry line, as in building walls, but I put 0. But what I didn't realize is that we built all the walls out of solid block work, which actually probably cost us more money, but it was quicker while we had the bricklayers in. So now I can claim against that dry line item. That was what was missing. We plugged in the percentage there and the invoice has been sent to the client for payment. The time is 5:47. I'm sitting at my desk and I can hear tunes beating. I'm thinking, what is going on? And I've realized that Tezza is back in the gym. Good for him, making a start. And it's been a long time since I had a Dizzy Rascal Sidewinder set with Slimzy on the decks. Like, I'm talking like this tune is, I'm thinking, what is, my office was shaking. Terry is beating tune, thumping rhythm in the yard. But he's training. It's always good to get the heart rate going. Good for your body and good for the mind. Go on, Tezza. There's 2 of them in there. I think the lads are doing a little circuit. Friday morning and I'm in the yard. I like to go for a drive around the yard in the morning just to have a look at what's going on. And a couple of weeks back we had some crane inspections and there was some minor work that needed doing to them, and now all of that work is happening.
If we can send them to Will and Control4, basically, we're going to have to take under advisement really on the tray sizes, because I've allowed for a basket with a 50mm return, 150, so you could say that's equivalent to a 225.
We basically spec the refurbishment project a long time ago when we were pricing it about a year ago. Since then, there have been a lot of advances. We're going to change some of the cables, some of the cameras that are being used, just because there are newer ones which have better security and can now integrate into Control4 that bit better. The more you can have governed and controlled by one system without multiple systems all trying to talk to each other using loads of different AI technology and integration, the better. So we're going to try and simplify it. It's probably going to cost us a bit more to do, but it's about reliability. I don't want anyone calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning saying,
it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Speaking of the refurbishment project, ECS, who are doing the air conditioning, they've tested the pipes again, and we are going to move the digger and dumper from £15 million house to the refurbishment project, and we're going to begin on Monday to start filling the trench with some reject sand. Saturday, and I'm not in the yard. I'm at the £15 million house. The concrete section of the floating bench is complete, and doesn't it look lovely? We are now going to spend today using lasers, doing drawings and making templates so we can make the steel what is going to bolt on to the front of this to form the area what you will actually sit on. So you'll sit on the steel here and your back will go here. Couple of things we need to remember. There's going to be a finish on the top of this, like a polished concrete finish, which takes about 3 mil. And then on top of the steel, it's going to be clad in timber. I'm doing some dimensions here. It's going to be a concrete diving board, but that is going to be a completely separate video.
We are not sure whether we start here or here.
Fine. What do you think of the bench structure?
This is okay, more than enough.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Don't you think it's great?
It's more than enough, that's what I told you.
It's more than enough.
More than enough. What else you can say?
It's not straightforward for us trying to take the templating in this area, because we got many different reference points and the seat changes, so got to take 2 reference points and try and work it out. This is the area where in the past couple of weeks I showed you we had to make the exploratory hole between that manhole and this area over here. Excavated, we found a problem with the pipe, we put a new pipe in, we surrounded the pipe with a sand, then we built up with type 1, and this is the concrete that we poured last week. We are now ready in this area for the paving. We're only going to take the paving a certain way down because the diving board works has kind of halted the works in this corner, but it doesn't matter because we're going to take our lines from the wall here and here. So we're going to make sure that as we come off the pool, we have the full-size tiles, and we're going to work our way that way. Little close up of the drainage in this area. You saw us excavating around here a very long time ago. Well, the drains have gone in, and in this section it's flush against the house. So when we put the tile down, the tile will end up finishing flush here, and all the water management is going through this linear drain. But over here where there's a gap, we'll have a tile up to it, and then we'll have a small infill of a tile on this side also. Yeah, there's just blood there, Bartek. Yeah, there's just blood. And do you know what else is there, Bartek? The muscles. The muscles there, Bartek. There's a couple of them scattered around the place. They're covered in fat some places, but they're under there somewhere. You know the boys, when it's winter, no one wants to work outside. It's raining. When the sun is shining, it's too hot. Nobody wants to work outside. So I'm doing my best to control the weather, but I'm not succeeding. I never have, and I'm not succeeding today. Circleways are all done. 5G football pitch over here. Border for the 5G pitch, and we have the material completely spread out. And when the other material that we need to add here is going to give us another build up, and we'll make this completely level. But we're not going to do any of the turf or any of the 5G on the pitch until we finish the seating area and we finish all the tiles, because we're going to be tracking over it and then destroying it. When it was raining, it showed that our new underground drainage systems and circleways are working perfectly. And now it's a lovely day. You can see the garden in all its glory. When it's finished, it will be epic. Back at the yard, the time is 3:30 p.m. Just had a look over the This Is Ashville, that's our merchandise site. Another site where we've managed to do a full update. We're just working on some things at the back end for optimization, but you know, it's not really a site that needs to be out there for keywords. It kind of does what it does. It's all the Ashville merchandise, and it shows some of the things which are coming soon, which are not available yet, but you can always click on it and leave your details and you get an email when it does arrive, which should be in about 4 weeks. Finished creating the work list for the video team, which is scheduled for Monday morning to go out. And I'm sending out a couple of reminders for people on plant hire in regard to machines that we're trying to put out there and potential people we're looking at for the sales role. I have got a lot more to do, but I'm thinking if it's best to go to the gym and tackle this work later or even tomorrow morning. We'll see how I get on. Sunday morning, Mr. Shalalambus, the sticker man himself, is making another attempt to get me out the house on a weekend and do something other than work, and we're going to go to Supercar Sunday at Sheesh. I'd like to speak about something, the weekly episode that just went live today, because the episodes are 2 weeks behind, which is episode 138, when I was in Glen Sander filming. I haven't seen the comments, but the team said that there was a lot of pushback on the time because it was 20 minutes and people didn't like it, and there were a lot of bloopers in it. Once again, people didn't like it. That's not what they watch for. There were, of course, some comments saying that it was a great show. I encourage comments and I like comments because everybody is, of course, entitled to their opinion, and it's how we can get feedback with all respect and the nicest possible way, and I appreciate every view we get. I have never promised any length of video. When some people say the videos are too short, we have other people what say the video is too long. Now, the fact that the video is too short and people say I've waited all week for it touches me here, but I can't make the video longer than what we filmed because that's what happened, and we don't fabricate it. This is real life. This isn't Hollywood. Currently, watch this space. When I film for standalone videos, I check my phone and my laptop at lunchtime and afterwards. The vlog, if my mood is down, I film. If my mood is up, I film. If I talk slow, if I have no energy, if I'm falling asleep, doesn't matter because it's a vlog of what's actually going on. For instance, if I'm in the middle of filming in Glen Sander and I'm delivering to camera and I'm in a quarry, they're about to do a blast and there's 30 people all waiting for me to deliver to camera so we can capture exactly what's going on, and I check my phone and Terry says,
"A lorry has broken down and a client is screaming at us because the driver didn't turn up."
It affects me. It bothers me. Straight away, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, how am I going to resolve this problem? How am I going to get over it? I have to give my full attention to what I'm doing at that moment in time. That's why there wasn't that much business stuff in it. Had I given you all the information from Glen Sander in the weekly video, then we wouldn't be able to create an epic standalone video which gives you all the facts and figures. You see, the weekly videos, they serve a particular audience who we love. I love all of you. So with these standalone videos, when they go out, they have a completely different feel because it's completely different content. And we hope that new people find it, and then when they find it, they move over to the weekly vlogs. On the road again, having a rant again, explaining himself again, gonna see the sticker man again. He's got me around all the supercars again. Speaking of which, I'm thinking of a new car. I better not get myself too gassed up at Supercar Sunday and go and be spending money that I could be buying lorries with. And that's it for Ashville Weekly, episode 140. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see an Ashville video you may not have seen before, and click here for last week's episode, which was 139. What do you think of these whips? I'm not sure I'd even fit in any of these things, man. But I best I just keep my money in my pocket or buy new lorries.